Hey. Check that. Did you turn off the compressor?
I turn it off.
Alright, thank you, Josh. Yep, turned off the compressor. Fun. What's up, guys? Hey, it's Drew. Hey, babe. How you doing? What's up, fellas? Hello, what's up? Having ready for school. Oh, hey, Victor. What's going on? And Antoine. Hey, Atlanta in the house. Hello from Connecticut. He's not tonight.
He's from
Portugal, Tennessee. So how was your weekend?
That was good.
What's up, Bobby?
We went to the bouncy house.
You went to bouncy house.
Yeah. What is that?
This is Bobby.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's right.
Fernando, how was Kobe's?
That was good. Sebastian was scared.
Because of
for
the fire?
fire.
Oh, Jesus.
No,
man.
he was asking like fire, and then when the actually fire came, he's like, no. Let me out of here, man. So,
Hey, I'm from Norway
that was
and
good.
Baltimore. What's going on, guys? So you had a good time?
Yeah.
That's good.
I don't have the chance to say hi to Drew, so.
Well, we'll see what we can do. South
Yeah.
Texas and Tempe in the house. What's up, Craig? No,
What do you do?
if you're asking,
Yeah.
Haley and I started filming for our new show.
Okay. Everybody in what are they talking?
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
We're filming a new show. So Haley and I started filming our new show this weekend. Hey guys, love the porch videos. Is there a way to wire up a relay to delay turning on by 5 to 10 seconds? Yes, you needed a TR7 from PAC. You can do a timed output on it.
Yep.
So yeah, you want the TR7, Christian.
What's up, Nick?
But yeah, so we had some stuff to do. We'll talk more about that, but we're gonna start
Alex.
We're gonna start our own little channel.
Victor, new show?
New show, yeah.
Yes.
It's gonna be a new show with Haley and me, and of course, Haley and I should say.
Yeah. That's what you said.
And then it'll be. I need to post out my 5-star. Yes, you do. This is my old one. It's got a stain on it right there. So yeah, it sucks. I had to buy a new one. Mexico in the house.
Yeah, Toluca, Mexico.
But anyways, I've been toying with the idea for a year or two now, and I think we finally come out with an idea that's gonna work. We filmed this weekend. We have a couple other things. We're gonna film. It's gonna be a once a week show, so it's not gonna interfere with this.
Right.
But it's something I've been wanting to do with her because we
What's
have
up, David?
a lot of fun together. So
Podcast. Yes.
So the podcast, believe it or not, you'd think it would be nice and simple for us to just find a half hour every week for us to talk about stuff. And we've been doing a crappy job. I'm ditching the DSR-1 for the audio control 810. Have you guys installed the 810 in a late model Ford with the Sony? If so, how did it go? Yes, we've actually done one.
What's up, Tony? Tony from UK.
We've done a couple of the 810s and the 608s with the Sony system. Of course, for those, we'd use the Amp Pro because the Amp Pro will get us the preamp level output, and we'd plug that into the DM810. So that's how we run that one. We go Amp Pro into a DM and then out. So yep. Canada. Saskatchewan, Canada. Sorry. So that was my weekend. That was the primary focus around the weekend. Other than I
tried to get the new show
show out. Got finished up the show for today, the 3-part series on the Porsche. That was a late night Saturday night trying to get that done, and then I had to come in Sunday morning and do some quick edits on that because I found that if I'm up too late, I don't always do the best job, and I wanted to make sure that finished right. Patiently waiting for Amp Pro for my 5th gen Camaro. Well, be patient. Sure, be real patient on that one.
Yeah.
Now, there's 3 types of Camaros that we've found. So you have the base model 7-inch Camaro that has no amplifier at all. Then you have the premium sound system one that's really not premium. There's an amplifier in the trunk, but it doesn't have the factory subwoofers. With that one, it's actually a line level going, it's a variable voltage going into the factory amplifier. You can actually just solder on RCAs and be good to go. You don't need an Amp Pro or anything like that.
Right.
So that's actually kind of nice. I saw something, Ford B&O, how about the new systems? That's going to be a nav TV piece. It's called the Zen A to B is how you're going to interface with that. Right now, that's all that's available, and it is extremely expensive. So,
Hey, okay, so it's when talking about the Morel three-way, you say you could use expand half-inch MDF and mount the 3-inch speakers on the dash toward the window.
right.
Would it be better to the tweeter towards the window too?
That's entirely up to you and how you like the way it sounds. But yeah, you could if you wanted. Yeah. There again, you can mount them right next to one another. Alpine used to have that cool kit for the trucks that put the 3.5 flat like this and the tweeter like that.
Yeah.
As far as the 5th gen Camaro, Josh, I know. The 6th is much nicer. The 5th also, if it has the Boston acoustic stereo in it, like mine does, there again, it's line level. It's the same thing, so you can actually just hook up RCA's to it, and you're good to go. You don't have to do anything special with it.
All right. I have a 2018 Chevy Silverado, and I want to put the system, and this is possible.
The 2000, it's totally possible. If you don't have the Bose system, there's two choices. You have the if you have the 8-inch touchscreen and you have an unlimited amount of money, you can get into the Zen. What's the bus? What bus am I trying to think of? What is the GM? Anyways, Nav TV makes their Zen module for it. That if you have the 8-inch screen, Bose or non-Bose, you can integrate into it and get RC output. It's like $900. Otherwise, you can do like some form of if it's just a 4-level output, meaning no factory sub, you can just use your CAN bus. No, it's not CAN bus on the new ones. It's Most Bus. So the new Zen Most 50. Anyways, otherwise you could just do like a DSR1 on the 8-inch, and use that, and then hope that in the near future iData will come out with their interface so that you can just reflash the DSR1 to interface into it with a T-harness.
All right.
So,
I got a serious question.
Nav TV are very expensive, but they're the only game in town right now for 8-inch without Bose. If you have Bose, then you can just go with an Amp Pro, because the Amp Pro just shipped. We got it in today, so those are available now. But you have to have Bose right now. So what happened with that? Just in case any of you guys caught the show, and they were talking about how the 8-inch non-Bose screen was going to interface with their unit. There was some hiccups, and they wanted more time to develop the product to get it to work right. But the sales guys were just like, no way, we can push an update later. So right now, as it stands, the unit works with Bose systems only. Probably another 3 to 4 months before it's going to interface with non-Bose systems. So our thought is we have two choices. You could do the Nav TV for $900. Or you can do the DSR1, or any processor for that matter. The reason why we chose the DSR1 is because two things are going to happen. One, iData is going to come out with the same solution that's going to allow it to work with the non-Bose 8-inch touchscreen. If they do, the DSR1 has an AR built into it. You'll just have to buy a T-harness, plug it in, and you're done. Reflash the brain. Or B, the Amp Pro is going to get updated to have the 8-inch non-touchscreen feature, in which case you can just reprogram the DSR1 for line level instead of RCA. But either way, you'll have a device that will allow you to future add in that. You could also do it the DM610 or the 810, because those are going to be AR compatible as well as RCAs from an Amp Pro. So those two products will future-proof your 8-inch truck radio. That's what I got. Okay.
I got a serious question. That's what he say.
No, the Bluetooth module. Yeah. Okay.
With a recent install that was professionally done.
Yes.
I'm getting engine noise and a small hiss noise.
Yes.
Where can I start?
So the small hiss noise. Okay, so two things. You're talking about two types of noise. You're talking about floor noise which is that small hiss noise, and you're talking about engine noise. Now, floor noise is going to be the noise you get when without.
He has a DSP paired too.
Well,
5-channel.
Yeah, which is fine. That's usually where the floor noise is coming from. Usually it's some kind of gain differential is what's causing the floor noise, meaning your gain is up too high somewhere, or so if you have the engine off but the car is on and you're getting a sound, that's floor noise. That's usually somewhere there's a gain that is either too loud or possibly the 20,000 hertz on the EQ is turned up too high. Maybe bring that down. Sometimes we'll fix the floor noise issue, or try adjusting your gains down so that you get volume higher. But the sucky thing is when you're doing a high level system, if that's what you're doing and you have a DSP in there and you're getting floor noise, it's usually a result of the high level, because there's just, it sucks. That's that. But typically by turning the gains down or turning on 20,000 hertz, you can bring the floor noise down to an acceptable level. As far as engine noise goes in a situation, engine noise is more of a pain in the butt. Engine noise can be a couple different things. It could be, obviously, we know the bad ground scenario. It could be a bad RCA. It could be the equipment. A lot of the times, just the equipment in general. Or it could be the DSP, depending on how you have the DSP grounded. So it's not 100% amplifiers. For that, what you want to do is get a smartphone that has some form of 1/8 inch headphone jack capability and an RCA to 1/8 inch headphone jack, and start plugging these in and go to the amplifier and see if you have noise, see if your floor noise goes away, go to your DSP, and just kind of work your way back to the radio, and that will help you figure out where the noise is coming from, both floor noise and engine noise. So yeah, that's what you got. It's not fun.
What is those jars behind you? Oh.
Jars. So these are the empty peanut jars. I don't know if you ever saw the installer trail mix video we did, but what we do is we store stuff in here. So these are all little micro screwdrivers that come with the pack, high level to low level adapters. These are little RCA covers. These are the little 8 gauge to 4 gauge spacers that come in the fuse holders. We like to save stuff like this because these make really nice amp risers. Obviously these are self-explanatory. Sometimes we need to cover a female RCA, so we save stuff like that. We also have a bunch of like the radio screws and then other odds and ends, like when we do audio control, they come with the 4-pin things. Sometimes we have leftovers, we put stuff in there. It's kind of like the boxes that we have up here, just a smaller version of them.
There you go. I need an extra ground on the radio harness. Can I use a relay with a negative output? How would I connect it?
Grounds you don't need to do anything for. Grounds you just ground. So you don't need you don't need anything for a ground. All you got to do is pick a piece of metal and attach to it, or pick a wire that's attached to it. You don't need a relay for ground. The only time you need a relay is for power, because you need to up the power. So if you just need another ground, pick a piece of metal, pick a ring terminal, screw the thing down, you have another ground. That's it.
Okay, Tim say, hi guys, I have a good idea for you. When you do the head unit distortion level with the meter, can you do a dual camera setup to view the level on the head unit when it's distorted? That way, for the people that don't have the meter, they know where to set it.
I thought we did. I know we have a 2-camera setup when we're doing it. I could have swore we have, on the newer ones, we have the screen showing the screen, and then we have the top down.
Or maybe you mentioned that.
Either way, we'll have...
It's something
once we get back into doing those, we're going to do that for sure. What's up, Danny?
Okay, please help. What radio do you recommend for 2017 Jeep Wrangler and mid-level speakers for hip-hop and R&B?
Okay, go ahead.
Oh, yes.
I wasn't listening, so...
2017 Jeep Wrangler.
Oh, okay.
That will be the Alpine.
For what? Well, he said hip-hop, though.
No, for the radio.
Oh, what radio does he want to go with?
Yeah.
Oh, so what do we got?
We have a 2017 Jeep Wrangler.
4400.
Okay, 4400.
And then what the Alpine?
How we go?
Was it the 309?
The waterproof.
Oh, yeah. Well, not the 309 though, right? He was asking about the big Alpine 9-inch. The W.
He just want to know what kind of radio. What do you recommend?
For Jeep.
Yes.
Well, So Alpine, of course, makes their big 9-inch waterproof unit for the Jeep, which if you're going to be driving around with your top off and all that fun stuff, obviously that's the coolest game in town. Otherwise, you know, we do the 207 Jeep version of it is real popular. Or we do a lot, we did a ton of 4200s. For Jeeps, it was always the 4200, which is now the 4400, because it had a detachable face. So it was always about the detachable face. So that was kind of the two things. But you know, we did a ton of 4200s in Jeeps because you could take the face off, and that was really.
But you can do a lot of things in the Jeep, man.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's any wrong radio
and
for
a
Jeep.
The speakers.
Oh, I mean, we do a lot of Rockfords and Jeeps.
We do a lot of
Rockford
because it's loud.
But you know,
you can do the Pioneers also.
The thing about the Rockfords is they're loud, but they're not necessarily like, ooh, wine and cheese, which was fine in a Jeep. You're going for louder sound quality. So like we do a lot of punch and a lot of T1 stuff. If you want something that actually is like, sounds good, too, by that I mean wine and cheese type sound good. They both sound great, but, you know, maybe look into some of the Focal stuff, because that's loud.
Yeah.
We used to do a lot of the Hertz high energy stuff, but of course they don't make that anymore. So.
All right, Marie. If you have any questions about the install, please call Paul 727-216-6170, so he can give you an estimate of the install.
The Focus, was that the car we did? Ford Focus with the Sony system? Was that the little car we did?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did we put that video up? I don't remember if we put the video up.
Not yet.
Huh.
That's the blue one.
Yeah, we didn't put the blue one. I haven't done that. No. Yeah, we've actually done the Ford Focus with the Sony system. We put a iData Link interface. We went iData into a DSR1 and put two of the. There's got to be a picture of it on Instagram.
Yes, we put a picture.
If you go to the 5-star Instagram page, there's a picture of it. It's a DSR1 and two of the little T Punch Power series. We did a T402 and a T501. He was a rather tall gentleman and he sat really far back, so we just went a set of T2 components up front. We didn't do anything in the rear door, and then we went with like a Scar Audio VVX10. It sounded really nice. But yeah, speaking of Instagram, you can find all kinds of fun stuff on us on Instagram I'm 5-star Dean.
Yep.
Right?
Yes.
Yep. The number 5-star Dean, and your
Mr. Lopez /13.
And of course, you can also find pictures on just the number 5-star car stereo.
Correct.
And not the number, not writing the number. Yeah.
Right.
So we're there.
All right, Robert. Here's a couple of questions for you guys. If the speakers are rated 100 watts RMS, should you match them with an amp or the same wattage, right?
Okay.
Second, if you have a mini amp and it's large and a large amp at the same power rating, why would the mini amp require a smaller gauge wire and the larger require a or larger one? Today amp's supposed to be more efficient, kind of going back to the day of the ADS power plate.
Yeah.
Okay.
So to answer the first question, if you have 100 watts RMS is a funny little rating. Most of the time what you run into, okay, so if we're going to take this as a perfect world, so for example, if you buy a set of speakers and they're 50 watts normal, 100 watts peak, okay, that means that somewhere between 50 and 100 watts they're going to sound great. Now if you go buy a brand name, really's going to put out 100 watts a channel, yay, you're going to be fine. Because you're going to be crossing these things over, so you're going to limit their frequency response. And most of the time, when you look at the power rating of a speaker, it's from 20 to 20, meaning 20 hertz to 20,000 hertz. So it has to be capable of playing 50 watts on both from here to here. Well, you're not going to be doing that. Chances are good you're going to be crossing that mid-range over at, let's say, between 80 and 120 hertz. Well, that's going to change the power handling drastically on the speaker. It's automatically going to go up. We actually have a video on this, and I don't remember what it's called, but we actually take a 6.5 and we go through all the processes of showing the movement of the speaker and how the speaker can handle more power once you've limited the movement of the speaker with the crossover. So, you know, for me, We bought the camera we're using right here. I'll take a picture of it and put it up on Instagram.
Yeah.
But for me, I always, you can never have enough power for your highs. There's never enough power for your highs, period. Yeah. If you buy a 70 watt amp, you're going to wish you had a 100 watt amp. If you buy a 100 watt amp, you're going to wish you had a 150 watt amp. That's that. You can never, everyone buys small highs amp and giant sub amps because subs are not as efficient as highs. But I like big highs amps because I want to hear them.
Yeah.
As far as power wire goes, yes, these new amplifiers like the Q that took a 12 gauge wire. It's a very small amplifier, very efficient power supply. As far as the new Rockford T series minis, those are just a different way of building an amplifier. It's not a Class D, it's not a Class AB, so it's more efficient. So yeah, you can use these smaller wires because their power supplies aren't working the same way. Like the PBR amplifier that Rockford makes relies on you having a big battery in the car because it's not storing much current in the amplifier. It's like this boosted rail system that it basically uses the battery as the power supply, so it's really funky. But yeah.
All right, Reynaldo, for the F-150, yes, you can retain the steering wheel controls, but you have to see what year is your F-150. I don't know what year it is. All right, Craig, thinking about switching vehicles real soon. I found a Saturn I'm looking. I was wondering if my NEX 4100 fit in the dash. I'm not real sure about the year, so he don't know.
So anytime you want to know if something fits, real simple, 2 websites, pack-audio.com, metroonline.com.
Yep.
Those 2 sites are going to have, one of those 2 sites, if there's a kit available, is going to be at one of those 2 sites. What's the difference between Stinger's complete wiring kit versus their amp kits? RCA. So they have a power wire kit that just comes as a power wire kit, nothing else, and then they have the complete kit which comes with an RCA. That's it, nothing big. I installed a 16,004 amplifier. When the speaker connects, I get voltage on the multimeter.
John,
disconnect the wire. Yes.
John say, his friends say, why are you eating here alone? Me, I'm watching on my favorite show starring Dean and Fernando.
Oh gosh.
That's awesome. What's up, Richard? Let's see.
All right, so what does this say? Okay, but if I get the speaker wire back and I can set the gain, but I can't get near the car, should I connect the 100 watt by 4 ohm resistors to simulate the speakers? Oh, okay, I see what's going on. So I will tell you this.
Hang on.
Okay.
Kenneth say, Fernando, I will mail you $5 if you punch Dean in the arm. There you go.
Haley does that for free all the time. I mean, I don't know. I will tell you this. If you put the 100 watt 4 ohm resistors on there and go to set it up, it's not the same load as putting a 100 watt 4 ohm speaker on there. It's a constant, and it's really tough on the amplifiers. Really tough. So, for example, we have these guys right here. This is a 500 watt... This is a 1,000 watt 2 ohm resistor. Okay, when we put this on an amplifier, we got about, what do you think, a minute?
Yes.
Maybe a minute before that thing goes like,
oh, they burn.
Like we have
burn the bench.
We have a burn mark on our bench over here because we weren't thinking and we left one hooked up. This is a 500 watt 4 ohm resistor.
What's up, Ada?
Depending on the situation we're putting it in, there again, we get about 2 to 3 minutes before this thing wants to set shit on fire. So, be careful. What's up, Ada?
All right, let's see. Okay. I have this one. Hang on.
Thank you, Craig.
Do you guys have a room for a semi-truck in your location? We don't.
We don't. Our parking lot.
We don't even have a room for a boat.
Yeah,
No.
We're in Florida and we can't work on boats. It's awesome.
I don't know.
Drop your address to me. Just mail it to the store.
Yeah, 5-star.
Yeah, it's on the videos. All the videos have the address and the description.
No, but you don't have to. I love
to
just punch Dean.
And which reminds me, I want to thank Fro.
Yeah,
Jason Fro, which I don't think he's on here tonight, but he sent shirts for Haley. So Haley is going to be thrilled.
Yeah.
We have a nice Stereo
What's up,
Kings.
Bill?
Stereo Kings, for those of you guys that catch the show and you see Fro up there, Fro works at Stereo Kings of Oregon. And there we go, Stereo Kings. And also, because we know he works at Oregon, and Haley wears a medium, just in case she wears the same size Fernando does, Oregon. Thanks for chiming in, Bill. This gives us a great opportunity to remind everyone, or tell everyone that didn't catch the Saturday show on YouTube. That's right, we do a Saturday show on YouTube. For those of you guys that don't know that, I'm sure all of you do. But believe it or not, we found somebody that didn't realize we did a YouTube show, and that was kind of.
There you go.
Yeah.
What?
So, you guys need to do some absolute. I agree.
Man, you can send it.
At some point, I need to actually print these because I buy these a la carte one at a time. It really sucks. Anyways, that's getting sidetracked. Wednesday, we're going to have another Wednesday show. So we're going to have a special show here Wednesday.
Because Victor like it.
Yeah, I like Victor's shirt. See, Victor, remember what I said it's supposed to be red? And yours is orange? This is what, see, it's red. Anyways. So Wednesday we're going to have a special show. We're going to have probably Bill or his counterpart, probably Bill, on the show with a gentleman, hold on, from a new company that we are going to talk to and find out about. And if I can find what I'm looking for here. Sorry, if you need to talk, go ahead.
Okay, Miguel, yes, we have videos for the 2005 expedition. It's going into the install diaries. Also for the Lexus GS 350, we also have videos for that. For the 2005 expedition, replacing the subwoofer, I believe we put the kicker. The kicker Comp R, the small one. So you just have to go through the videos and try to find it, but yes, we have some.
So anyways, this is the company here. It's called Wave Tech. It's a new company. This is their website right here.
There you go. No.
Okay, no. Crappy. It is wavetech-usa.com if you guys would like to do a little bit of homework before we get the guy on the show to tell us all about their company and what they do. But they make high-level to low-level adapters, and they make some really neat high-level Link T. Yes, WaveTech, that's them. Yes. So they make 8 different products, and I've spent all weekend reading everything I could find out about them.
With time alignment,
yes,
yes.
They make the Link T, they make the Link Q, they make the Link D. They make the Link 4, the Link 8. They make the bass. They make 2 bass units. One is a bass EQ, and one is a bass restoration.
Yeah.
So they make some neat stuff. Needless to say, we're going to have them on the show, and we're going to talk to them and find out their story, hopefully. That'll be fun. So that's going to happen Wednesday here on Facebook, as usual. It ought to be really neat. I'm curious. What?
Did you answer Luis' question?
Which one?
About the Bose 1600.4 amplifier.
We talked about that. Yeah,
okay.
We talked about that one a little bit.
Okay.
He used to work for Alpine. Really? All right. Well, cool.
Nice.
Well, if you know more, call me and tell me. Thanks. Always great videos. Yeah, thank you.
Hey, Dean, on the NEX 4100, can I get the backup camera turned on? I have tapped into the reverse light and I see a signal. It's just the radio is not recognizing it.
So there's 2 things you need to do to a radio to get a radio to recognize a reverse. First, there's going to be a trigger. So if you're using like a Pioneer or a Kenwood, there's a purple white wire in the back. If you're using an Alpine, it's an orange white wire. That needs to be also connected to the reverse trigger, so your reverse lights. That is what's going to tell the radio to go in reverse. Secondly, you need to go into the radio's main menu and say, hey, I have a wire hooked up to that purple white wire. Turn that on as well. As far as the TI speakers behind us, these are some new speakers for Fernando's car, already from Amp.
Yeah.
Just send us these. Amp, in
That's
case you didn't know, Amp Global owns Phoenix Gold. So we talked about it the other day. We got the new audio control ACM 4.300. So with that, we're going to take that and go active on the front stage of Fernando's car. We're going to take the 2.300 and connect them to these rear guys. So this uses that cool center point technology like we talked about with the Morels. So this is really nice here. This speaker, look at the size of that magnet. Oh my God. Here, we'll put it some white. Look at that.
Yeah.
That thing is gigantic. And
They have the
Comes with a
crossover.
crossover. So yeah, now we're gonna
Made
get.
by Amp
How come you
also.
guys don't do active on the rears? Because we don't have that many channels to spare.
Yeah.
But the plan is to move this stuff around a little bit. And good news is, we're going to have a update to the car. We just put in a DSR1 in Fernando's car the other day. So we're going to walk you through that. That will be Wednesday. Yes, Bill, that will be Wednesday. You know you're going to be there. I talked to you this morning on the phone. Big speaker. It is a big speaker.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, really looking forward to that. That ought to be fun. And I'm really looking forward to getting the WaveTech product. I hope they leave us with some of the WaveTech products because I want to use the little 2-channel DSP that they have. So it's a 2-channel high-level to low-level adapter.
I'm happy you didn't say point source.
Did I say point source?
No.
I don't even know what I called it. Yeah, I know. Sorry. So it's a cool little 2-channel. You guys got to go on and look at this stuff because it's neat stuff. Okay, so it's a 2-channel high level to low level adapter / line driver. So it's got high level and RCA, and it's got 2 bands. It's because it's just 2-channel left and right. It's got 2 bands of time correction. So if you're doing a 3-way set like we did in Fernando's car, we have 1, 2, and sub. You can actually adjust the 2 bands to compensate for the whole car and add time correction into that 3-way system with just this one little box. It's really cool. Fernando showed off the air compressor before the show.
I did.
Hey, Dean,
You're welcome. Actually, Richard say hello. I was looking to replace my 2 amps with a 5-channel amp to simplify the install. I like the audio control. Do they make a 5-channel amp a 2-ohm low for a subwoofer?
Oh, audio control?
Yeah.
No, all they have is the 6-channel.
The 6-channel.
And that's 5 and
DSP.
6 are going to be a mono 4-ohm. But they do make the so what? Okay, instead of doing a 5-channel, what you could do is the LC 804 or 4800. I'm always getting backwards. A 4800, I believe, or an 800. Anyways,
800.
the 4.800, the LC 4.800, and then do the LC 1.800, and then you'd have 1600 watts. They're the identical size. They match. They look sexy. They sit right next to one another. All the wires come out of the bottom. They light up blue. They're wonderful. But that's what you could do instead of doing a 5-channel. Really nice combination there. Or if you wanted to go a little bit smaller, you go ACM, which is this size here.
ACM.
This is the ACM 4-channel here.
Yep.
You can do the 4.300 on all the highs, and you can do the 1.300 for the sub, and then they make a new cover, because these come off, they make a cover you put on top of them so it looks like one amplifier with wires coming out of both sides.
It's so cool.
Yeah. Now,
yeah.
that's really good for SPL guys.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, Matt.
Hold on, real quick. On the reverse, it says, "Hey Dean, I did what you said on hooking up the reverse purple wire on the radio from the reverse lights."
Yeah.
Did you turn it on in the menu then? Did you? And also, do you have, depending on the radio, make sure you're actually plugged into the right input.
4100.
So make sure you're plugged into the brown input. That's key. Make sure, and also go into the menu and turn it on. If it's a 4100, it's not the first choice. It's the second choice.
Now,
when you're going to that menu, because when you have always on and then you have the turn on when in reverse, which I believe is number 2 selection on that, right? It's the second one down. So turn that one on, not the first one, because what the first one does is that just turns it on so that 10 seconds after you stop touching buttons, the screen just pops over to the reverse camera. That's not what you want. You want the one that goes, which is the second choice. Okay.
Now, also, if you run in the backup camera that has the ground in the end, we normally run the ground all the way to the front, because sometimes it's gay.
Especially in a pickup truck.
Yes,
because
they go crazy. So
the bed of the pickup truck is on rubber grommets, and it doesn't always provide a good ground.
I mean, I'm just saying. You can run a ground. It's easy for me.
Or go out
go
down to the frame rail and ground it at the frame rail is a good place to get a ground too. But I think he said he had the camera actually working.
Okay.
So, but yeah, that's one of the funs with the. Thanks. I'm going to give the Hertz Energies I can repeat. Yeah, they're nice.
Cool.
Yep.
All right. So
Okay.
what's the difference between the Stinger Complete Wiring
I got
Kit?
that one.
Oh,
I
never
got
mind.
that one for you when you were reading.
Thank you so much. You're so nice.
Hey, it's what I'm here for, buddy.
Okay,
I'm
I'm
here for you.
thinking
thinking.
buying a new car, and as you know, some of the new cars are using factory stereos that might never be able to replace.
Correct.
Can you really get a good sound from a high level output, or do I need to keep replacing mids also when I look into new cars?
Well, okay, so we talk about the Amp Pro and the AR all the time. Those are the integration process. Those are the integration pieces into factory amplified systems. So like there again, if you have the Toyota JBL Infinity system, if you have the Sony system, if you have the Beats by Dre, if you have, for your Chrysler. So basically what we got Chrysler covered, we got Ford up until this year covered, so anything 2017 to about 2015 covered. We have the older Toyotas covered. Nissan, if it's got a Rockford system, typically is a variable voltage output. You don't need anything for that. Lexus, Infinity, you're pretty much screwed with those because that's going to be a fixed level. Or you just have a car that has a radio that just has, like the Volkswagen we did the other day, the Passat, that just has 4-channel output. Just left, right, 50 watts by 4 coming out of the deck. And there's nothing you can do for that. He could have put a new radio in, but he chose not to. But let's say you couldn't replace that radio. What do you do? That's why we always talk about like the DSR-1, the DM608, this new company that we're talking about that we're going to have here on Wednesday.
Yeah.
These are all products that are designed to help us integrate into this world that is the factory stereo and all the joy that it brings. Depending on the car, it's going to be easier than others or harder. So like for a GM, you have the annoying door ding that comes out of the front passenger speaker. That's hard to work with because it's just boom, 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 so there's tricks, but sometimes it just sucks. Also a lot of the processors now have auxiliary inputs, which is nice because if you're working, you can buy a high-end Bluetooth dongle or an aux and you can run your phone directly into this so you can sidestep all that crap. But you still might need to interface in with it, so a lot of them have buttons, so you can A/B between the two. Like you can turn it off and use the Bluetooth, the navigation, whatever you want. It's the future. It's just how the world of car audio is going to go. The nice thing about these units that have the EQs is that you can EQ up and down. So as long as there's a signal there that you can EQ, you can push it up or you can push it down. And the key is as long as there's a signal there. So for example, like if you get into like a Toyota, what's the big one? The Tundra?
Yes.
So if you get into like a Toyota Tundra, that signal's all messed up. Like there's giant holes between the dash speaker and the door speaker that you can't EQ. That you just pull the radio out because you can pull the radio. So luckily we haven't run into too many situations where if the sound sucks that bad, we can't pull the radio out. But it's just the future. That's what we're getting.
Donnie, you can send a video or the message on the 5-star message page. And then we can reply to you also. So, what happened?
No, I was just making sure the air was still on.
Okay.
It's be kind of hot over here. I
Yeah.
think we picked the wrong part of the install bay.
I told you.
My bad. Dean, have you had any high output alternators that were reliable with minimum maintenance?
What?
He says, have you had any high output alternators that have been reliable with minimum maintenance? No. No, I haven't. And there again, the limited experience I've had, MechMan makes, from what I've understood, the nicest aftermarket alternators. What's up, Johnny? The problem with, like I've said before, if you're going to get a new alternator, learn how to change it yourself, okay? Because at some point in your life, it's going to be Sunday. In Florida, we have this thing here where it never fails. You come home Sunday from Disney, and it's 8 o'clock at night, and your air conditioner's broke, okay? And you're screwed because it's the most miserable night in your life, and then you just hope Monday you can get somebody out there to fix it. My father-in-law is in the air conditioning business. I have parts for my air conditioner in my garage. I don't know shit about air conditioners, but I can change parts. So I have all the parts it takes to replace the fan motor, the speed control, the capacitor. I have all these parts in my garage, okay? And what I do is I've learned to figure out, okay, the motor's not spinning up in the attic, it's probably the speed control. I pull it out, put the new one in. It works, it works, it works. Hey, it works! Okay, we have air again, you know? And in 4 hours, our house will be cooled down. Alternator is that same thing. It may work forever and ever and ever, but Sunday night at 8 o'clock, you're coming home, your alternator dies. You got to go to work on Monday. Okay, if you know how to replace it yourself, grab the crowbar, put the thing in, loosen it up, pull the alternator out, put the new one in, grab the crowbar, go to town. Got a new alternator in, send that one back, get it fixed. If you got to rely on someone else to do it for you, have a backup plan. That's all I got to say. McMahon for the win. Yeah, he makes great alternators. It's just, it's not if, it's when. That's it.
All right. Andy say, hey guys, do you guys ever do alarm systems? We do probably 3 or 4 a year.
Yeah, we're not big on alarm systems here. Call Ada.
Yeah.
That's who you want to call on alarms.
Yeah, he does a lot. All right, he say, can you give me a quick basic explanation on how to set up a time correction for a 3-way setup? Huh?
Time correction on a 3-way setup?
Yeah. Do I even need the correction for the sub or use the fronts?
So the whole idea behind time correction for the sub is to move the sub forward. That's the idea behind it, is to get that bass. See, Ada loves alarms.
Yeah.
To get that subwoofer sound forward to the front of the car. So that's why they recommend doing it. It is also one of the most pain in the butt ones to do, because it's like there's no, like, so like when you're doing time correction left to right, all right? So if you're going to do 3-way and you're going 3-way active, it's literally measure each speaker one at a time and play. We've preached it 100 times. No correction on the furthest driver. See, there he goes. He likes that.
James, we have a podcast, so check it out.
Yeah.
5-star.
Yeah. So so the problem where that gets people screwed up, Ada, is that like when you're just entering numbers, you know, like when you're using the calculator on these products, they calculate all that stuff for you, and it kind of removes you from having to figure this stuff out. So we were talking about this today, because we were talking about the new EQ, and so we were just talking. This looks like a solar system. Okay, so we were talking about this for the 3-way set in his car, and this was the math that we had to do. So you have your head here, you're the driver.
Yeah.
You have your driver's side, you have your passenger side, you have your subwoofer. Your subwoofer is going to be the farthest thing out. So we said, okay, that's 50, this is 30, this is 20,
This is
10. So this was 10, this was 30. Now we need to add a delay to this speaker so it equals that speaker. We need to add a delay to this speaker so it equals this speaker. So this needs a delay of 40, this needs a delay of...
What?
20. And yeah, so you can see where this gets confused. Most of the...
Trisea.com? Okay. There you go.
Go there.
Go
you can
there.
enter the numbers and they'll
that.
pop that
Yeah.
up. And I think that's the app I have on the phone. But there again, I want the tools. I want the knowledge to know how to do it. It's great to have the website. Hold on. Where's it at? I was getting ready to move all that stuff.
Yeah.
Too.
All right. Let's see. What's up, Johnny? What's up, Alessio?
Yeah. Tracelight.com. So, TR, that's exactly it.
Yep,
And what he's talking about is...
Up.
Focus.
Just to the side. Tilt your phone.
Okay, what he's talking about is this page right here. And what you're going to do is you're going to answer these questions, and it's going to calculate out what you should put as the numbers and the time delay.
Luis.
Now, the other thing, too, that works, like a DSR-1 actually has a calculator built into it. The DM608 has the calculator built into it. If you're using like a Pioneer or a Kenwood, those automatically calculate for you when you put in the numbers. He's in Maryland.
He's in Maryland, yep.
So, isolate. Once you've figured out the numbers, isolate. Do your tweeter, do your mid-range. If it's a 3-way set that is just full passive like we did in the Porsche recently, just take the farthest speaker and work your way in. And then you're just going to tweak it left or right a little bit with the volume. It's not easy, but it's not terrible. And like if you have the track that says I'm talking from the left, talking from the center, talking from the Sheffield Labs we talk about, that helps a lot.
All right. Robert, it's better
Okay, too far for me, thanks. Sorry, Victor. Sorry, didn't mean to go there. Okay. The most important thing to remember is the fine-tuning on the bottom of the page. Oh, okay. Yeah, on that. Okay.
Okay.
Perfect.
All right. It is better to have a 5-channel amp.
Check polarity first. Yes.
Yes.
Always.
It's a JL XD705, the new one, the V2. In some 4-channel for the sub.
I'm gonna take a 4-channel and put it on
No,
the
no,
sub.
no. It's a 5-channel.
Okay, 5-channel.
Yeah. And then some 4-channel for the subwoofer. And use the sub RCA output for the head unit.
Okay. Where was the question?
It's better to have a 5-channel amp.
Okay, better to have a 5-channel amp.
Some 4-channel for the sub, or use the RCA. So basically, it's
yeah. Okay. I get what they're saying. Okay, so the question is, all right, got it. So the question is, if I have a head unit and I have a 5-channel amplifier, do I want to use the sub output of the radio into channels 5, or do I want to use the switch on it that says some channels 1, 2, 3, 4 into the subwoofer?
Yeah.
If you have a subwoofer output on a radio, use the subwoofer output from the radio. Plain and simple. There is no reason not to. The only time you wouldn't is if you're doing something like a factory radio that is just front, rear, left, right, you know, the cross, and now at that point just sum it together. However, be careful with that. If you have Bluetooth, this is the thing you have to remember when you have Bluetooth. If Bluetooth usually, like for phone calls, comes out of the front speakers, so you don't want to use that to power a subwoofer.
Yeah.
Because then every time they're talking on the phone, your subwoofer's back there going pop 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 pop. So rear speaker would be better.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Aideen, I recently purchased Rock 4P 1675S components. My 6 3/4.
Hold on, wait, real quick. All right, here we go. Ready? Write this down. TRACERITE.com. And that's where you can go for your calculator. Okay. Sorry, go ahead.
All right. Let's try again.
Let's try again.
All right, Aideen, I recently purchased the Rock 4P 1675S components.
Yep.
My 6 3/4 in the door.
Lance missed it. Did I miss anything? Just a little. Okay.
Okay,
go ahead.
And the factory tweeters.
Yes.
They're in the pillars.
Yes.
Do I have to run the tweeter wires with the inline capacitor to the 6 3/4, or I can wire it into the factory tweeter wire?
He's gonna need the inline capacitor for the tweeter.
Yeah.
Hey, I recently purchased S. Okay, components for the door panel. The pillar.
What's up, California?
Wire with the inline capacitor on the 6 3/4, or can I wire to the factory tweeter wiring? I would probably recommend using the inline capacitor for that. Anytime you're putting in a tweeter, like a factory tweeter, when you pull the factory tweeter out, usually the cap is on the tweeter. There's a few situations where it's not. Most of the time the cap is on the tweeter, unless it's like a passive system, or I'm sorry, an active system, like a Ford or something like that. And then it's like a Sony system, but my guess is you're not going to be replacing that. So yeah, run the cap on the tweeter.
Yeah.
Typically what we'll do, if we have like, okay, so which I know we've shown this before, but if you have like a mid bass in the door, a tweeter on the A pillar, and there's an outboard crossover network, the outboard crossover network has to go to the mid bass in the door and the tweeter in the pillar. So we'll put the crossovers in the car and run our wires from the crossover to the door to the tweeter. We won't use the factory wiring for the tweeter. We'll run a new wire up to the tweeter from the passive crossover. You can do a loop through if it's a small enough wattage system from the passive crossover mid bass out to the factory mid bass wire in the dash, you know, and over, or connect it, catch it in the kick. But yeah.
Yep.
What was the sign again? I missed it. I already said that.
All right.
Okay.
Any recommendation for best mids and highs high power, 200 watts plus.
Ooh. 200 watts.
Yeah.
That's a lot of power. I mean, that's a lot
remember the full
of power.
count that we did?
Yeah, which
That
ones?
was the 200.
The
That's
K2s?
ones, yeah.
Well, yeah, that's focal though. That's like
Well,
that's $1,200 set of speakers. But
if you can afford it,
200 watts is a lot of power for a set of mids and highs. So
yeah, just
best
get the full
mids for
count.
200
K2.
watts. I mean, the K2s would take it, but that's a lot of power.
That's good. Power is good.
That's a lot of power. Hi guys, I have a pack LP72 speaker signal or 12. Okay, does what was that? Hi guys, does
all right?
pack
Hey guys,
LP72 need
does the
speaker signal or 12 volt to work or both?
Yeah,
things?
exactly that.
Okay, so the LP72 is Pack Audio's 2-channel line output converter or LOC with auto turn on.
Yes.
So what it basically means is that it needs power and ground, and then it feeds a remote turn on. This is the one that we use in every one of our installs. We've had it anytime. We use this thing so many times. It's been in tons of videos. This little box that sits next to the amplifier. It has a yellow, it has a black, it has a blue. So the yellow goes to power on the amp, the blue goes to remote turn on, the black goes to ground. You're done there. Okay, that's it for hooking it up. The other 4 wires are the speaker wires. Those have to tap into some speaker in the car so that it can get signal. And then the RCA's out of the box, not on the wire, the RCA's out of the box would then plug into the amplifier. If you're going to be running a remote turn on other than using the LP72, the remote turn on portion of it, the yellow, black, and blue are only there to generate a remote turn on. So if you've already got something that's turning the amplifier on, you don't have to hook those up because they're not doing anything other than that. They're not part of the high level to low level. They're not DC offset. They're not anything. They don't do shit. Well, that's what they're. I
really?
mean, people
do nothing.
People try to hook them up.
Come on.
They'll hook up power and ground, and then they'll hook up the remote turn on, and then they'll hook up the speaker wires, and then they don't hook up the blue wire. And it's like you're not doing anything. It's just that's not what it's for. However, I will tell you this, the nice thing about the LP72, if you need to turn something on in a car, it makes a great turn-on accessory.
Yeah.
Because you can tap it into a speaker.
Done.
And you can use it to turn anything you want on anytime the stereo turns on. It has been a lifesaver in a lot of these cars that there is no accessory anywhere.
Yeah.
LP72 will do it for you.
Yep.
Yes, DC offset.
DC offset. Yeah.
Because that works better.
Well.
Okay. Mine is cut out. Did my question get answered?
Yes, he did.
Okay.
About the dual camera.
Okay, I have no idea what you mean, but
Really?
we talked about a dual camera.
Yeah.
We did.
For the distortion. I think we had a video like that, but I don't know.
Oh, he has this door. Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That's it.
What does it say? Also, Fernando, when you worked on a 2013 Hyundai Veloster Turbo, when you took off the door panel, how hard were they to take off? Did you snap any fasteners? I heard they were fragile.
They are fragile. What I do is grab the plastic panel tool and try to go around it. You know, just don't pull in one side. Just go around it little by little, and that's it.
Which ones are these?
What is that?
Well, you asked which 5-finger models am I wearing today. Honestly,
what kind of gloves do you have?
Yeah, what kind of gloves? These are the new ones. They have the new soft. They make these in like 3 colors. They make this ugly blue. They make a tan, and I think they might make a black. Basically, when I'm buying these for work, I just go on Amazon and try to find the cheapest ones I can find because they don't last long here. If I get like 6 months out of them, I'm feeling pretty good, so I don't like spending $150 on them. What typically happens is between the toes, they wear out. I know, right? Why would they? But they do. But honestly, I've liked these the most. You could probably figure out what they are just by looking at the bottom of the shoe. These actually have some form of a tread on the bottom, so they're kind of nice. But I have a Imelda Marcos collection of these things because it's what I wear 99% of the time. The only time I don't actually wear them is when I'm running because I'm old and they suck on the knees. For that, I wear Newtons. Newtons, right?
Newtons.
Yep, Newtons. I think Newtons out of Colorado. But Yeah, I own a lot of them. It's kind of funny. It's sad, and I have them in lots of colors so they can match. I get like you when it comes to shoes. You like clothes that match. I like shoes that match. So I got red, and blue, and orange, and it sucks.
It's something.
Okay.
All Hyundai and Kia door panels are hard.
Yeah, they can suck.
Yeah.
You know, and the key is always to just go slow.
Yeah.
I mean, any time you don't know is go slow. I mean, that's just it. Go slow, and just take your time. And if something's really hard, I mean, there's plenty of times where we'll be laying on our backs with flashlights, looking up underneath the door panel, trying to see why this clip won't come off, and it's like, oh, it's just the door it's like it pops off and then it slides up, or it's like there's some stupid clip right in the back that just has to be pulled hard. But yeah, he said A.
Yes, Tim, you can send us a picture just to see how you build is coming.
You know, that brings up a great, are they good? I wear them all day at Disney. Like I said, I wear these 99.9% of the time.
What's going on?
The only time I'm not wearing these is when I'm running. Other than that, that's all I wear. I don't own any normal shoes.
No.
At all.
No.
At all.
It's just gloves. That's it.
Just foot gloves. I just got foot gloves. And if you caught the vacation video where Haley goes, "Are those comfortable?" That is the most common question I get. Are those comfortable? Here's the deal with them though, is that if like I've been wearing them for like 5 years now, so my feet are fit to them. If I don't recommend just putting them on and going for 5 hours, you'll hate yourself. You got to wear them in short periods of time until you get used to them. It doesn't matter what type of finished material the ground terminal is made from.
It's from, hang on.
Well, it depends what it's covered in, not necessarily what it's from.
What do you prefer?
Copper, covered in silver, or something along gold, or something like that. But what we have found is that, like on the new Fords, where the battery is put together, I don't know if any of those videos have come out yet, but they frickin' take black anodized parts now and put them in their battery terminals, which is terrible. So we actually have to pull their whole battery assembly apart, sand it all down, and then put it back together again. Otherwise, it won't make proper contact. And then in some cases when we're doing ring terminals, when Paul buys the kind I don't like, we actually have to sand those down and get to the copper underneath their crappy coating that they put on them because they don't work either. So,
all right, do you guys have a good layout for the sub?
Hold on, before you answer that, Johnny says the S has the inline crossovers. My question is, do they hook up that tweeter with the inline crossover to the 6 3/4? Yeah, so it's 4 prongs. So 2 of them are for the mid-range and 2 of them for the tweeter. So you have to run one out to the mid-range and one up to the tweeter. So probably what I'd recommend doing is maybe put the crossover in the kick panel, cut the wire in the kick, feed into the crossover, and then go into the door and then go up to the tweeter. Not use the factory tweeter wire at all. Okay.
If it's the blue clip, good luck. It's a blue clips, good luck. Wow. All right. Okay, back to the question. Do you guys have a good layout for a sub on a 10 Infinity shallow mount for a single cab 97.4 pickup?
I'm assuming because you read that, you have an answer for that. Because I don't.
Well, if you're going to check, you can check Brightstar. They make nice boxes.
Brightstar Car Audio has boxes. A-Trend.
A-Trend.
A-Trend. They make nice boxes.
Yep.
But yeah, that's really where you want to start when it comes to stuff like that.
Brightstar Audio.
Brightstar is car audio. Yeah.
Yep.
Hello from California. I have a 2004 Ford Fusion plug a hybrid and want to add amps. How big of an amp can it handle before I have problems? Okay, so Patrick, on that, so what we've done in the past is on the Toyota Prius is probably the most popular hybrid we get in here, and the PDX V9 is kind of the go-to amplifier for that. So that would probably be where I would start and finish if we're looking for big amplifier / small amplifier.
Yeah.
That's 500 watts for the sub, 110 watts for all 4 corners of the car. You can pretty much power anything you want with that, and it's very efficient. So I would look at the PDX V9 for an amplifier for your car. We've done some stupid things in the hybrids, and they've been stupid and by request of the customers and not by me. I'm like, are you sure? And they're like, yeah, let's do that. I'm like, okay, bro, whatever works for you.
Yeah, let's go.
Makes sense now. Awesome. But yeah, the PXV9 is kind of the go-to amplifier. All right, guys, that's been an hour. Yay! That brings us to the end of the show. If you want t-shirts like this one here, teespring.store/5star, teespring.store/5star. DNF Tool Drawer is the place where you can find the tools that we use in our daily installs. We're on Patreon, so if you are a Patreon, if you like to do Patreon stuff, you want to throw some money at us, on the YouTube version of the show where we I don't dance. Where we release it, you can we put your name so everyone gets to see how cool you are for supporting our show. If you want to follow us on Instagram, we have 5-star Car Stereo, the number 5. We have 5-star Dean. We have Nando13.
Yeah.
Bismarck, what's up, buddy? Cody, Patreon. Thank you, buddy. He's a member.
Yep.
Sustaining member. Does the box material affect performance? Yes. But they both use MDF. Foxbox just rhino lines it, and so does A-Trend.
Yeah. Foxbox, baby. All right, guys. See you guys later.
Wednesday
don't
night.
Forget, yes.
Wednesday night, we're gonna have a special show. That ought to be good. I'm looking forward to it. Yep. Also, I will keep you guys informed with the Haley show. The Haley D show. Hopefully, we'll get that out this weekend.
Yep.
Get that going. I'm excited.
So don't forget, 6:30.
6:30 on Wednesday.
This Wednesday.
So, 2 days from now. It ought to be fun. More fun! Yay! All right, guys.
See you guys
later.
Have
a wonderful week. If we miss you on Wednesday, we'll see you on Saturday when we do the YouTube live show.
Yep.
We get to answer more of your all's questions. You guys have a wonderful week.
See you later. Bye.
Bye.